Good morning, STA family of schools and future Raiders. Thank you very much for joining us in part 2 of Fuel Your Fire, and it is my absolute pleasure to introduce our guest today. Once again with us is alumni CFL football player who played with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Saskatchewan Roughriders, as well as the Chicago Bears in the NFL. Even more importantly, an alumni from Western Ontario University, an excellent football player, an even better student, and a wonderful community member here in Oakville. Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce Andy Fantuz. Thank you very much, Andy, for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're excited to learn some more about the 7 pillars. I wanted to take a moment and see if any of you were able to reflect on any of your pillars that we introduced yesterday. I know for me, I was able to reflect on our presentation a little bit and think about how I can make some improvements on today on my delivery. I definitely paid attention to what I was eating throughout the day. So how about yourself? Did you get a good balanced meal? What kind of fuel did you put into your body? I made sure I drank more water. Even this morning, I drank a glass as soon as I woke up. And I certainly looked into the toilet and saw what color my pee was. I had a good night's sleep, and I feel refreshed and ready to go. So I hope you do as well. So I'm going to share my presentation here. And I want everybody to get out a piece of paper and a pen if possible. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the first 4 pillars. And I want you to try to be an active listener. So as we're going through this, if anything pops up in your head, you have any questions or things that you're not sure if I'm going to touch on and maybe you want some more clarity on, I want you to just jot them down. And also, we're also going to start with goal setting. So I want you to begin by writing down a goal. It can be anything you want. It can be a personal goal. It can be an emotional goal. It can be an athletic goal. It can be an academic goal. Just write anything down. Take a moment now as I go through just our topics in goal setting, okay? So we're going to talk about how to make our thoughts into our reality. We're going to talk about the keys to powerful goals. I like to break goals down into 3 types, and those are outcome goals, performance goals, and process goals. And then you want to have short-term and long-term goals. And then we're going to talk about SMART goals. This is probably a term or some of you may have heard before, but we're just going to go through it again because it's a good reminder. Okay, so for goal setting, did you know that your thoughts determine your feelings? Think about it. If I'm feeling excited and happy and optimistic, well, I'm probably gonna be more kind and generous and outgoing, right? Your feelings determine your actions. So if I'm feeling happy and outgoing, well, maybe I'm going to have a bigger smile on my face. Maybe I'm going to say hello to people. Maybe I'm going to look people in the eye instead of shying away in the corner. And your actions determine your reality. So what you do is who you are and how you're known and judged by. And that's how you bring yourself success in life. So if you want to have a better reality, you need to start by having better thoughts. And taking those thoughts, making a roadmap, making a plan, or making goals, and making them your reality. So powerful goals must be inspiring. So they want you They want to urge you to reach something that's not just simple and comfortable for you. They must be believable, though, as well. So, turning into Superman is probably not a good goal. And they must be goals that you can act on. Some goals may be long-term goals, and you may have to create interim goals or shorter-term goals in order to reach those goals. But you want them to be something that you can take action right away and build towards. Might take a long time, and that's fine, but you want to be able to act on them. So there's my 3 types of goals: outcome, performance, and progress. I'm going to mention this again, but you always want to visualize your outcome, and then you want to focus on your performance and your progress. So an outcome goal is like a desired end, like a win goal, right? Like, I want my team to win the championship in soccer. I want to be the class president. But these are goals that sometimes other people can affect. So even though you may have the best team in soccer, you might be the best player, you're not necessarily going to win that championship, because who knows how the other team performs, what happens within the game with the variables that you can't control, etc. Just like being the class president. Yes, you might be the best candidate for the job, or think you are, or have everything lined up, that you might have the best resume, but you still don't necessarily control it 100%. Outcome goals. I'm going to move on to performance goals. And outcome goals and performance goals are very similar and sometimes can be confused. But what I just mentioned about how other people can affect them, that's the biggest difference. So a performance goal is something that you can mostly control. So if you're going to say, I'm going to win the race, that's probably an outcome goal, because you don't know what the other people in the race are doing. But if you're going to say, I'm going to have my personal best time in the race, that would be a performance goal, because you can control that. You can mostly control that by the way you prepare and set up and execute and perform. So that's the difference between performance and outcome. So I want to get an A in the math test is a performance goal. I want to have the best mark, or I guess it's an E now, excuse me. I went to school a long time ago. I want to get the best mark on the math test is an outcome goal. Okay? So performance goal is a specific standard in mind. So I want to get an A. I want to pass grade 4 conservatory piano. I want to get my lifeguard certificate in swimming. I want to finish reading this book, whatever book you're reading, by the end of the weekend, for instance. So you can control that. I want to get from here to here. Okay? So it's mostly controllable. Now, when you have outcome and performance goals, you want to focus on your progress goals. This is your strategy or your technique. So these are designed to improve your execution, and these are 100% controllable. Okay, so I want to win the soccer championship. Well, what's our progress? I want to have excellent practices every day, 3 times a week for each week leading up to the championship game. If I want to be the class president, well, I'm going to spend 30 minutes every night preparing my speech and my resume. I'm going to go around and talk to different groups of people in the school. So those are progress goals. So we're going to take a look at an example. I hope you've written down an example before, and we're going to try to build that into a more specific and more a SMART goal. So again, we're going to visualize the outcome, but focus on the process in your performance. So within these types of goals, within these 3 goals, we're going to have short-term goals and long-term goals. Okay? So we're going to write some examples of a short-term outcome goal. We already gave a couple, but we'll do a few more. So win top prize in school for your science project. That's an outcome goal because it has win involved and it's not necessarily something that you can control completely. A performance goal would be to get an A on your science project or to get an excellent on your science project. What's a progress goal? 30 minutes of work on your project right after school each day. So in order to reach your outcome goal, you're going to focus on your progress goal. Okay? So now let's look at a long-term goal. Maybe I want to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. How can I do that? Well, my performance goal would be I need to increase my skating speed by 10%. It's a specific standard, a specific goal that's measurable. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to spend 1 hour 3 times per week improving my strength and explosiveness. Following me? So you can see how, yeah, you want to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs? That's a great goal to have. Fantastic. Okay, let's do a performance goal that we can control a bit more and a progress goal that we can focus on today and act on. Okay, so we're going to talk about SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific. Specific meaning like you want to have the who, the what, where, when, why, and how. The more detail you have, the more likely you are to achieve your goal. Measurable, something you can measure to see if you achieved. So a value. Is it attainable? It should be ambitious, but not outrageous, like becoming Superman. Is it relevant? Well, is it worthwhile doing? Is it something that is going to help you achieve the rest of your goals on your list, both short-term and long-term? You know, if my goal is to be the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm not going to make another goal to say I'm going to try to eat 10 hot dogs in one sitting, because it's counterproductive. It has nothing to do with anything, and it's not going to get me where I want to go. And then time-based. Add a specific deadline to your goal because that's going to help you with your urgency and your time management. Okay, so let's do another example here. So my goal is to volunteer. All right, let's try to make this smart. More specific. My goal is to volunteer at the YMCA. Okay, now let's make it measurable. My goal is to volunteer at the YMCA for 20 hours. Is it attainable? Yes, I think this is attainable if it's something that means something to you. And, you know, the YMCA is not far from where all your schools are. Is it relevant? Well, if it's something you want to do and you have time and you want to meet new people and try new things, of course it's relevant. And then is it time? And let's make it time-based. So to volunteer at the YMCA for 20 hours by September 21st. So that's a SMART goal. Let's do another example. So my goal is to be able to run farther. Okay, sure. Let's make it a little more specific. My goal is to finish a marathon. Let's make it measurable. My goal is to finish a marathon in under 5 hours. Okay, well, is this attainable? Maybe. Do you run now? If you don't run now, then maybe you need to make some smaller goals in order to get there. Like maybe I need to run 1 kilometer by the end of March and then 2 kilometers by the end of April. Is it relevant? Well, if you enjoy running, it is. If you'd rather cycle, then maybe you need a goal with cycling. If you're a football player, for instance, I don't think running a marathon is necessarily going to make me a better football player. So I'm probably better off making a goal that has to do with sprinting or explosiveness rather than long distance running. It's a different type of energy system. And let's make it time-based. So my goal is to finish a marathon in under 5 hours this summer. So let's put it all together and make it a SMART goal. My goal is to finish the Oakville Marathon on July 15th in under 5 hours. Okay? So goal setting tips. Write them down and put them somewhere you can see them. I can't stress this enough. When you write something down, it gives you more than a 40% better chance to accomplish it. For me, I have my goals written on a whiteboard on the back of my door in my office. So I see them every single day. I'm able to focus on them. They stay relevant for me and keeps me accountable. Remember the 3 types of goals. Make short-term and long-term goals, and make your goals SMART. I'm going to have a little commercial break here.
When you add it all up, I think if you're doing a list of top 5, top 10 all-time Canadian receivers, Andy Fantuz has got to be somewhere on that list. And yeah, I think he gave it a strong consideration to play one more year at age 34, but we expect him to hang it up this week.
Let's see those Fantuz flakes right behind you. You got a box there. You can go out on that.
I got them right here. Yeah,
they're right there.
Now, exactly. Now, these things, when they went on the shelves in Saskatchewan, like they were gone, like in 48 hours or something. So yeah. You talk about collector's items, keepers. That's why I got a home alarm here, guys. So no one breaks in and steals these things.
Thanks, Nail Gun.
See ya.
All right, so that's just a little funny commercial there. We're just trying to split up the pillars here. I wanted to spend a bit more time on goals because I know it's a very important one, and I know when I was your age, I found it hard to really focus and make my goals SMART. So hopefully that helps, and you can take your goal that you started with today and turn it into a SMART goal and act on it today. Okay? So what else we're going to do? We're talking about nutrition. Your body is a temple. We're going to talk about macronutrients, good versus bad. Good carbs, bad carbs, good fats, bad fats, what your plate should look like, and just a reminder to watch your drinks. So your body is a temple. What does that mean? That means you should respect it and honor it. So what are you putting in your body? Your body is made up of molecules. So your food you put in the body is broken down into molecules that make up your body. So what are you going to build your temple with? There are 3 types of macronutrients. There's carbohydrates, so things like pastas, breads, grains, lots of vegetables are carbs. There's proteins. Proteins are typically things like beans and meat products, fish. And then there's fats. Fats are things like dairy and olive oil and avocados, okay? But like I said, there's good and bad types of these. So let's take a look at carbs. You see the graphic on the right here. So complex carbs are considered good carbs, and then simple carbs are considered bad carbs. So complex carbs are a great source of vitamins, minerals, and fibers. Your body needs these. You can eat as much as possible of like green leafy vegetables. Those are the best kind. Starches like breads and pasta and rice are also good for you. Better when they're whole wheat or brown. But you have to limit this based on your individual body type. Still, complex carbs are the type of carbs you want to be eating. Simple carbs have absolutely no nutritional value. You want to avoid these as much as possible. They'll cause a sugar spike and then a drop. So they're going to create fatigue, bad mood, difficult to concentrate, and decreased performance. So if you're looking at these pictures, which carbs are you drawn to? Well, there's probably a reason. Those simple carbs are addictive and they give your body a false sense of happiness. Think about when I know with my daughter, for instance, if she ever has any added sugar or like a cake or cookie or something, she'll get a little excited at first and then crash, and it starts crying and whining, and it's difficult to deal with. Once again, we're no different than that. So let's move on to proteins. Proteins are essential for building, maintaining, and repairing the tissues in our body and brain. So the most common types of proteins are meat, fish, and beans. You may have heard terms like tofu and tempeh, and even peanut butter, for instance, are good types of proteins. There's lots of debate on the best type of proteins for you, and I'm not here to tell you which one is, but one thing that's not for debate is that they are essential and that it's best when you eat fresh, unprocessed proteins. So let's move on to fats. So you can see in this graphic here that dairy, the milk and cheese are in that, they're kind of mixed because they have protein and fat. But there's good fats and bad fats. So unsaturated fats are good for you. Saturated fats, like those dairy products, are okay for you. So you want to have those in moderation. Trans fats, like deep fried foods, all those simple carbs we talked about, and like processed meats, those are trans fats. So you want to limit as much of those as possible. So you can have as much as you want. Good fats are like olive oil, avocados, and nuts. Okay? And then bad fats, of course, are things like cookies and hot dogs and cakes and donuts. So if you're looking at this picture, which type of carbs should you have? Which type of foods are good for you? Well, hopefully you're going to say the apple, the banana, and the milk, not the donut and the chocolate and the deep fried pretzel. You may see these words on food products in the store: glucose and fructose. Glucose is a good sugar. Fructose is a bad sugar. It's like a natural sugar and a processed sugar. So again, you can look at this graphic here and see things that you can make small changes. Well, if you have a sweet tooth and you like to have that cookie after dinner, maybe you can have some strawberries or other types of berries, a nice little sweet snack. Some fruit is a great alternative to having that sugar that you feel like you need. So limit it as much as possible. What does your plate look like? So you want to have about 2 palms of veggies. So you're putting your hand out like this. You can have about 2 palms of veggies, 1 fist of grains, 1 palm of proteins, 1 fist of fruits, and a thumb of olive oil. And that's your thumb, not my thumb. I know my hands are really big. Okay? Watch out for your drinks. I can't stress this one enough. So the recommendation is to have less than 25 grams of added sugar per day. A can of pop has 39 grams. So I hope you can see that that's not good for you. 1 Gatorade has 36 grams. Also not good for you. Gatorade does have some other electrolytes that can be healthy for you to replenish when you're dehydrated, but way too much sugar. There are better choices. Take a look at your juice box next time. There's a million types of different juice boxes, so they all have different sugar contents, but take a look. If you see the sugar content, take a look at the ingredients. Make sure there's no added sugar into it. Okay? No added sugar. So nutrition tips. What are you going to build your temple with? Limit your bad carbs and fat. Make those small changes. And then check your sugar content in your drinks. We're going to have another quick commercial break here.
Fat Goose Flakes. Part of a healthy breakfast. Go Riders!
That was just a little funny commercial there. So I know my time is slipping away. So I'm gonna move sleep till tomorrow, but that's okay. So let's talk about hydration here. The benefits of water. We're gonna talk about dehydration and its effects. We're gonna re-examine our P chart, and we're gonna tell you how much you should drink. Hydration. So your body is made up of 70% water. So your body needs water to function. Every single cell in your body needs water to function, including your brain. All the benefits of water. Carries the nutrients from your food and your oxygen into your cells. Converts your food to energy. Helps absorb the nutrients. Regulates your body temperature. Removes waste and cushion your joints. If you're thirsty, it's too late. You might already be dehydrated. Dehydration causes impaired decision making, reduced strength, reduced reactions, reduced endurance. It causes cramping and spasms. It causes fatigue and a sense of grogginess. It causes dry skin, dry mouth, like blemishes in your skin, and it causes headaches. Here's your P chart again. If your urine is from number 4 to 8, that probably means you're dehydrated and you need to drink more fluid. If your urine is matching 1, 2, or 3, it probably means you're dehydrated and you're doing a good job. Continue to monitor it. If you notice it's getting dark, drink more water. How much water should you drink? You can see that chart on the left there. If you divide your body weight by 2 and then divide that by 8, that's the number of cups of water you should drink. So if you're 60 pounds, you want about 4 glasses or cups a day, 1 liter. 80 pounds, up to 5. 100 up to 6. For athletes like myself, I used to double that amount. So I would aim to drink 1 ounce of water per body weight. So 100 pounds, 3 liters. I weigh over 200 pounds. I was drinking 6 to 7 liters a day. I'm sure you've heard, you may have heard of Tom Brady before. He swears by how much water he drinks. I used to, quick little story. When we're on practice, there's, they pay the training staff to come around with water bottles constantly. And you must get asked 100 times in practice if you want water. And I was the guy who never once would say no. Even when I thought I wasn't thirsty or didn't need it, I would just take a sip and move on. Take a sip, move on. I never said no. I can't stress how important this is. Okay, so some tips. We're going to drink a glass of water as soon as we wake up every day. If you're feeling thirsty, you want to drink 2 glasses of water right away. If your pee is dark, drink 3 glasses of water right away. These will help you get on the right hydration track. You may have to pee a little bit at first, even maybe wake up in the night once or twice, but your body will get used to it after a couple days, and you'll feel a lot better and you'll perform a lot better. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to come back to sleep tomorrow. So some take-home thoughts. So for goal setting, remember, you want to write them down and display them somewhere you can see them. A constant reminder. Make your goals smart. Make them specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Take your goal that you wrote down at the start of today and make it smart. See what you can do to act on it. If it was a long-term goal, that's great. Maybe you need to make a short-term goal to get there. Nutrition, make small changes. Change your cookie for your blueberries. Change your cheese to your olive oil. Make those small changes. Hydration. You want to wake up and drink right away. Every day, wake up and drink. It'll help you get your day going. And then continue to monitor your pee. A quick little story about nutrition. So I was the guy who I would buy all these different fruits and vegetables and superfoods. I know we didn't talk about superfoods, but those are things like chia seeds and hemp hearts that I find are great additions to salads and shakes, and really give you the nutrients that your body needs to perform better. So those are great things to also take home. But I would get all this thing and lay it out on my kitchen table, and I would have a vacuum sealer, and I would make all these little individual sized like shake packages, vacuum seal them, put them in the freezer. So one might have banana, strawberry, walnuts, some kale, some chia seeds, and some hemp hearts. Another one might be blueberries and mangoes and avocado and cashews and chia seeds. And I would vacuum seal these, and I would take these with me to training camp and keep them in the freezer. And every day in training camp, I would wake up, I would make myself a healthy shake before I would go into my 3-hour practice and go into my all-day meetings. And I felt great. It was a big change for me. Now I know you're lucky to have people making your food for you, I'm sure, but just a little story there. Okay, so I hope you learned something that you can take home today for goal setting, nutrition, and hydration. Please, once again, I'd be very excited to see any type of questions. You can email me here at this link, afantus@scholarsed.com. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow to talk about sleep, physical training, mental training, and rest and recovery. Have a great day, guys.